Heaven Official's Blessing. Chapter 152. Audio source: WuXiaWorldAudiobook.com. 4 Heavenly Kings hidden on darkened walls. There really was a face. Maybe it was because the flames didn't burn thoroughly, or maybe the paint above after having melted flowed down and covered the image, prevented it from ruin. But either way, beneath the tip of Xie Lian's finger was certainly a small, half-a-human face. He started to carefully scratch away that solidified black material, and Pei Ming commented while holding his very swollen left hand. "Your Highness is that fascinated in some mural?" "It's not fascination," Xie Lian replied. "But I have a daring idea." "Let's hear it," Pei Ming said. "Since we've obtained this rare chance of coming to Mount Tonglu, other than stopping the potential Ghost King, perhaps we can also seek the source of their origin? For example, who created them, and what kind of power is supporting this? Perhaps we may even destroy it in one strike, rid the world of this disaster for good, and never worry for another Ghost King to be born." "That really is a daring thought," Pei Ming said. "But if Hua Chengzu hasn't found anything out, then we'll probably end up wasting even more time on it. Under the current circumstances, I don't recommend doing so." However, Hua Cheng spoke up. "I didn't find anything out because my talents are dull, and my abilities are limited. Besides, at the time I was too busy killing. If Gerger is to take lead on this investigation, then the results will be different." No. I'm the one whose abilities are limited. Sanling is much more capable than me," Xie Lian said. Like he couldn't listen anymore, Pei Ming tossed Pei Su over to Ban Yu and turned to walk out. "I think I'm gonna go out for some fresh air." Over on this side, it actually wasn't difficult for Xie Lian to brush off a few pieces of those black hardened substances, and he blinked. These can actually be. This layer of seemingly burnt black, hardened material could actually be peeled off in large pieces. Between the exchange of some words, he had already peeled off a large area, revealing a human face about the size of a baby's fist. Although the lines were simple, but the expression on the face was lively, like it was chasing after something, and even the passion in the eyes were depicted. That layer of black hardened material seemed to have become a protective layer of sorts, and the colors of the murals under wraps were still vibrant, like it was only recently completed. Xie Lian turned his head back. "San Lang, let's do this together." Hua Cheng didn't move, but in the darkness, there was a field of silver light shimmering. Soon, hundreds of silver butterflies silently appeared, fluttering, and they paused on the blackened walls. Along with the uniform flapping of their wings, Xie Lian heard a small chipping sound, and like a mask shattering, numerous small cracks crawled across the black walls. And then, crumble. The black, hardened material that were covering the walls at first had all fallen, revealing the true image behind. A giant, colorful mural. Xie Lian raised his head to look at this wall and could only feel his mind exploding. The entire mural was visibly divided into 4 levels. The highest level was shimmering gold light blanketed with clouds, no people. The second level, there was only one character painted, and it was a handsome, white-clad young man. Golden light was depicted surrounding his person, and the light was painted with the same paint as the first level. The third level, there were 4 characters depicted. Each of their faces, clothes, expressions, and gestures were all different, and they were half the size as the white-clad young man of the second level. The fourth level, which was the lowest level, had countless figures drawn, and they were again half the size of those in the third level. Each of their faces were exactly the same, their expressions open, each full of passion, worship, rapture. The first face Xie Lian had peeled was one of those faces situated at the very bottom. The lines of the entire mural were elegant and mature, and Xie Lian was stunned for a long time before he could speak. "San Lang, have you ever seen this before?" Hua Cheng said slowly. "I've crossed over half of Mount Tonglu and have walked through almost every single divine temple of Wu Yang, but I can swear I have never seen something like this before." Xie Lian came to. I don't think this mural is from 2,000 years ago. There's no way it can be, Hua Cheng said. Look at how well the colors and the overall condition it's been kept. I say at most 100 years. Maybe it's even newer than that. Which meant this mural was painted on afterwards. Xie Lian pointed at the highest level. That level should be depicting the heavens, since the path of heaven sits above all sentient beings. Then he pointed at the second level. This level should be the crown prince of Wu Yang, since this divine temple was worshipping the crown prince of Wu Yang. Then the main character of this mural is naturally him, so he's the biggest figure in this painting with the same color lights surrounding him as the heavens. He's also only just below the path of heaven. Then he pointed to the fourth level. The figures at the lowest level are the smallest, their faces the same, so they must be the people of Wu Yang. Finally, he pointed at the third level. But who are these four? No matter their positions or faces, they are all situated above the people of Wu Yang and below that of the crown prince. This means their status should be the same. Governors? Vassals? Or? Hua Cheng walked a few steps closer in aid. Gerger, look, they also have a sheen of spiritual light on their bodies. Sure enough they did, only because the light from the crown prince of Wu Yang was too strong. In comparison, the spiritual light on their persons were practically outshone. It dawned on Xie Lian. They're the heavenly officials the crown prince appointed after he ascended, which meant they were the same characters as Feng Xin and Mu Qing once upon a time. Xie Lian made a round through the great hall, and confirmed it was only this wall facing the gates that had hidden secrets. The other three walls were so burned they couldn't be more ashen. Just who left this mural behind? Who was it left behind for? What kind of message was being communicated? With just this one painting, Xie Lian couldn't deduce much. After humming for a moment, he turned to Hua Cheng. When we continue on the road, let's pay more attention on the other divine temples of Wu Yang. I've a feeling that a mural like this isn't the only one. Hua Cheng straightened his head. I've that very intention. The two in Banyu who was supporting Pei Suop left the divine temple, and only then did Xie Lian remember the other member. Where's General Pei? Pei Ming said earlier that he was going for some fresh air and came out first, and he didn't come back in after they've dallied in the Great Hall for a good while. Xie Lian called out a few times but there were no responses. I hope he hasn't gotten lost at a time like this. The four looked around the small, desolate town, and since they couldn't use the spirit communication array in Mao Tonglu, their search was fruitless. Just as Xie Lian was feeling a little desperate, Hua Cheng spoke up. Gerger, don't worry. I've a way. He extended a hand, and in his palm a tiny little silver butterfly slowly started flapping its wings, flew around Xie Lian and circled him a few times. Although Xie Lian thought it was precious, he didn't know what it could do. What? Just then, he suddenly heard a series of labored breathing. Soon after, the voice of a man came from the body of that silver butterfly. That man said, I never thought I'd see you here. Pei Ming. Xie Lian looked to Hua Cheng. Hua Cheng snickered. Yesterday, I placed a silver butterfly on everyone. Pei Su arduously raised his head. So, you can use that silver butterfly to monitor the others' every movement, without them noticing you? As expected, of Crimson Rain, sought Flower. Don't speak if you don't know how. Hua Cheng sniped. Xie Lian cupped that little silver butterfly in his palm and called it. General Pei? Where are you? Who's in front of you? I'm sorry, Gerger, Hua Cheng said. You can only listen, not speak. Xie Lian gave it a thought and said, fair enough. If the listener's voice could also be passed through, then wouldn't it be easily noticed by the other party? Soon after, the frigid voice of another young man said exhaustedly, Old Pei, a word of warning, you best not say any ridiculous nonsense right now. Careful, I just might smack you to death. Hearing that voice, Xie Lian's eyes slightly widened. It's Ling Wen's male form. I see. Xie Lian exclaimed. So the black-clad man who's been killing all the way is Ling Wen in his male form. Is it Senior Ling Wen who took General Pei away? Pei Su asked. I don't know. I'm still listening, Xie Lian replied. On the other end, Pei Ming said, Noble Jia, what's with the fury? Shut up, Ling Wen said. I told you not to speak. I'm not the furious one, it's someone else. I'm telling you now, I can't control my body right now, so if I wreck you I'm not liable. We're both in this state right now, can't even move a muscle, so who are you scaring? Pei Ming said. Xie Lian raised his head. It's not Ling Wen who caught General Pei. Right now they're both held prisoner somewhere, bound by someone. Then he mused. They can even suppress the brocade immortal. Who can it be? Are you still wearing? Pei Ming asked. He didn't say it out loud, but everyone knew what he was referring to. The brocade immortal. Yes. He really doesn't like you, so watch what you say, Ling Wen replied. How would you know what he's thinking? Pei Ming wondered. Honestly, I can't believe you. Why would you stupidly go stir up this trouble? To so recklessly rob the great martial temple, break your own golden bowl, and now you've come running to Mount Tonglu. What, he told you to do all this? He didn't make me, I'm the one who wants to come, Ling Wen said. Old Pei, stop asking questions. He's getting mad. I can feel it. Pei Ming shut up. After a while, Ling Wen puffed a light breath, seeming like the brocade immortal had finally calmed. Thus, Ling Wen asked, and what's with you, Old Pei? What are you doing coming to Mount Tonglu? And were you stung by 1,000,000 hornets on your left arm or what, looking wounded like that? Pei Ming's voice was also aggrieved and woeful. Bad luck is complicated. Long story short, little General Pei isn't making things easy. Things weren't supposed to be this pathetic, but who knew the moment I've come I'd run into my unlucky star. Think I'd let anyone drag me to this hellish place if I wasn't injured? I didn't even see who it was. Will you just say what hellish place it is directly? Xie Lian thought, a cave or a house or something, so I'd at least know where to look. However, it wasn't like there was no clue whatsoever. The distance-shortening array couldn't be used in Mount Tonglu, so Pei Ming mustn't have gone far. He could hear their voices were somewhat hollow with faint echoes, so they must be somewhere that was spacious. And Xie Lian could faintly hear the sound of water. They haven't run across any rivers or lakes along the way earlier, and there wasn't a building more spacious than that divine temple of Wu Yang. Therefore, there was only one place they could be: underground. But this small town wasn't that small, so where, underground? Pei Ming asked, and what about you? I hear you killed over 1,000 monsters and demons, everyone's terrified. Congratulations. Well, you can't be the #1 literature god anymore, so why not change careers and join us martial gods? What manner of creature is this that can bind you here? Ling Wen laughed bitterly. I don't know either. I accidentally fought with Lord Rainmaster and was busy afterwards, so someone probably took the chance to ambush me from behind. No need to ask, he'll show himself sooner or later. Just remember not to expose your identity. Just then, a third voice interrupted their conversation. Pei Ming, Nangong Jia, you fucking pair, no need to spin your wheel of fortune. Think I don't know what's under your fake skins? Translator's notes. Golden steel bowl is an expression meaning a steady job. End chapter.